Thank you for tuning in. George writes in, I just can't believe these letters when I get them, but here's George. George writes in and says, Dear Tom, I need your pro advice. My girl is 22, and I'm 19. Strike one. And we have a newborn, which he misspelled. He put his two separate words, new space born. Strike two. It's a girl. And I don't know whether spelled W-E-T-H-E-R. I don't know whether to stay with her or DTB. And here comes strike three, at least. He says, I'm going into the Marines in October. Should I stay with her or DTB? Can you help? Signed, George. You know, George, I love you like a son. I really do. But why in the world, at 19, do you have a girlfriend? Why in the world, at 19, are you knocking up your girlfriend? And why are you doing this and then going into the Marines? George, did you pay any attention to anything I've said over the years? When you go to the Marines, that girlfriend of yours is going to have access to your meager Marine salary, your generous military benefits, and potentially your retirement pay. You can think that far ahead. By going into the military, you are guaranteeing, A, that when you're called away to service, you're going to be leaving your 3 years older girlfriend and your daughter alone, where these women get into all kinds of trouble, mainly banging other guys when you're not there. We get these reports on our boys in the military all the time. And then, if you marry her and divorce her, she can nail you for vaginamony. Let's say you marry her and things turn out lousy, as they usually do for people your age. You will end up paying vaginamony. Now, you will have to pay child support. There's no doubt about it. And I don't know why you would want to ruin your life this way. I mean, you're essentially flushing your life down the toilet. And I do not understand people who flush their lives down the toilet. I really don't. I bristle when I see stories like this. I mean, since a young age, I have saved money, gone to school as long as I could afford to, got training, learned more about what I do for a living, moved from city to city. I had a calculated plan to become who I am today. I don't understand completely carefree people who don't care what happens to them. They just don't care. Oops, I knocked her up. Whoops, she had the baby. Oops, I don't know, should I dump that bitch or should I stay with her? Nowhere in this letter do I see that you love this chick at all. Should you stay with her or dump that bitch? I mean, the question is amazing. I talk about this stuff all the time. I talk about not knocking up your girlfriend, not having babies, not getting married before you're at least 25 or you realized your dreams, not to have a serious girlfriend who's 3 years older than you are. I don't get it. George, do you really hate yourself that much? Do you really think you have that little potential to change the world, to do anything, to create a product, to cure a disease, to invent something, to build a business, to do something unique and lasting? Do you really think that little of yourself at 19? Have you already flushed yourself down the toilet? You hook up with a girl who's older than you are. You're not even in the Marines yet. You're not in college. What the hell? You can't even spell, pal. Now you join the Marines? And by the way, this show is the biggest supporter of all of our boys in the military. They're a big part of our listening audience. But I tell you guys all the time, if you're going into the military, no serious relationships with anybody. Always use a condom. Never spend money on broads. You won't have a girlfriend or a wife until you get out of the service when you're done and you achieve your dream. I understand that it's probably scary to go into the military at 19, to face the possibility of going to Iraq or Afghanistan or Kuwait or wherever we're going to send people. I understand that. I understand it's scary. But having a girlfriend or a wife provides only a false sense of security. Because we hear so many stories of these girls latching on to military guys. Then you go off and they give you that tearful goodbye, and then they proceed to bang everybody in the neighborhood while you're gone. Later, when they get knocked up by somebody else, and they fall in love with somebody else, and they unceremoniously dump you, they then take a nice parting gift when they go. A lovely parting gift, yes. They take part of your paycheck, they take part of your benefits, they take part of your retirement income. Before you've even retired, they're getting their claws in there. I mean, what George is doing here is just throwing his life away. He's throwing it away, and he can't even see it. Look at it. Look at his life. It's George's life. It's just swirling around in the bowl. Look at that. There goes George. Good thing he's in the Marines. Hope he can swim. Got to be kidding me, pal. Have I got this wrong?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Oh, Tom, you're so not nice.
I'm just honest.
I know, I love you for it.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. It's our telephone number. Sherry on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. First-time caller.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say I really like your show, and being a woman, it's not popular to agree with you, but I do on about 85% of what you say.
Uh-huh.
So, the kid tonight, you are right on with him.
Mm-hmm. I don't get it. I don't get why. I mean, all I can say is that George is a guy who doesn't have the guts to put the gun to his head and pull the trigger. So he's going to kill himself slowly.
I have to say, I'm a Navy wife. My husband has been in the military for 15 years, and we have been married for just under 18. And I have never personally messed around on him.
But just because you haven't doesn't mean this isn't rampant.
Oh, no, it is incredibly rampant, especially with the young girls.
Yes.
With the guys, the 17, 18-year-old boys that join, these girls, they go to bars where they hang out. I live in a Navy town, lots of Navy bars. These girls specifically target these boys as they come in off the ships. And all they're looking for is a free ride.
That's right. And I keep trying to warn the boys, because they're a big part of our audience. I keep trying to warn them, don't do this.
It is bad. They should not get married. I swear. And if the military wanted them to have a wife, they would issue them one in boot camp.
Yep, that's true.
They would. You know, my husband and I, we had a relationship before he even joined the military. And I know I'm an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
But that kid, he needs to stay away from any women.
Oh, he absolutely does. And certainly it better knock up any more. It better not knock up any more.
Oh, I know. That's ridiculous. Because then what happens is these boys, they end up having to support these girls. The girls go on welfare. They mess the guys' careers up. They take down not only the guy, their husband, they take down 3 or 4 other ones.
Right.
And it's bad.
There's no doubt about it.
Yep. So, you know, keep on. You know, keep telling the guys to keep it in their pants.
Sherry, thank you for that. It's Rob on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm okay.
Right on, brother. You are 100% spot on when it comes to all about planning things out, thinking things carefully through, and not throwing your life away. I was a musician after I left school. It's not the same as the military. I left for 5 years, played all through Canada, never had a girlfriend, never knocked anybody up, took responsibility, got out of it because the pay sucked. It was a lot of fun partying. Went back to college, 8 years of school. I'm 38 years old. I'm still single, making $150K a year.
Uh-huh.
And loving life.
And that's because you love you.
Exactly, and it's all about nobody takes responsibility for their own actions, and then society has to pay. My tax dollar has to pay, and that drives me crazy.
Well, I agree with that, and, again, I think that people like George are really suicidal, but they don't have the guts to kill themselves. So they just throw their lives away bit by bit.
I mean, all through it all, you're right about the sense of needing that security, because we all want that security sometime or later, and there's no reason to get it sooner.
There is no security in others, because people can leave you, they can divorce you, they can take what you have. The fact that somebody signs a paper and says, I'll be with you forever, till death do us part, we all know what a lie that is for at least half the population.
Absolutely, Tom. I was very close to tying the big one on.
The only security is in yourself, and anyone who believes they're secure with somebody else is fooling themselves.
Absolutely. Don't expect much from others. Expect much from yourself. Make it happen yourself. And this whole thing about this dude just totally flushed it all down the toilet.
No doubt about it, Rob. No doubt about it. David on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
I'm okay.
And, you know what? When I joined the military when I was 17, I joined the Army, and I almost went through what that kid went through, because I got married when I was 19, had a kid and everything,
Right.
I wish I would have heard you back in the days, man.
Well, I was here. Where were you?
I was in Georgia, but, I never heard about Tom Leykis till I joined some people right here in L.A., and they put me to your station, and ever since then, I'm a fan now,
Tell these boys who are 18 and 19 who are going to the military, tell them about your experience. Tell them why you would do it differently if you knew better.
You know what? My brother wants to join, too, and I had to punch him in the head a couple of times, to wake him up. Because once you join the service, you're locked down 24 hours a day, and once you get deployed and stuff like that, and especially if you have a wife and a kid, you're expecting to go back home to them, but they get lonely after a while. Because I've seen it lots of times, A lot of people see them in the barracks going up and down the rooms, from one guy to another. There's a bunch of backstabbing in the service, I hate to say it.
Yeah.
I love the service, don't get me wrong, That's the best thing I ever did. But if I could change it, I have 2 kids now. But, I'm happy with my choice, but if I could go back, I would have, kind of slowed down everything and enjoyed life more,
Yeah.
But if I was that guy, what I would do is I wouldn't even get married. I'd just leave her where she's at and just tell her, you know what, I'll send you the child support. And then if he gets deployed or whatever, he doesn't have to be breaking his head about, what's my wife doing? What's she doing now? Who is she with? Stuff like that. Because I've seen a lot of guys that they get letters when they're in the field or deployed somewhere, and all of a sudden you see a letter about, I'm divorcing you for so-and-so because you couldn't take care of me. You couldn't give me your time because you weren't there for me,
Mm-hmm.
And the poor guys, they're out there serving their country and stuff, and these broads, they make them suicidal, trying to kill themselves for their kids and, because their old lady left them, and they think they don't have nothing left when they come back, but they do. They have their families,
That's right.
But you know what? That's all I wanted to say, Tom, if you could take me out Kobe style.
Here you go, David.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
It's 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Katie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How's it going?
I'm okay, Katie.
I just want to say I completely agree with you. First of all, I think this guy should get a DNA test. I don't think he should get married. I'm a military wife, and
By the way, I think every guy who's unmarried and his girl has a kid, in fact, I'll go so far as to say every guy who's told he's a father should get that DNA test automatically.
I think automatically they should wear a condom first. So
well, I always say that, but again,
no matter what the girl says.
Condoms fail, condoms leak, condoms fall off. They're the least effective form of birth control there is. And so even if you use condoms, there's up to a 5% chance you're going to impregnate somebody anyway.
Yeah.
So the next thing you have to do is if a child is born, you must demand a DNA test. You must take it.
I think you should get a DNA test. I've seen what happens on military bases. I live on a Navy base. I'm a military wife. Not me personally, but I would have to say at least half of the guys that leave and come home get divorced. The wives are running around doing everybody.
Mm-hmm. And what you say half of them get divorced. What percentage of these women are cheating on their husbands? Boyfriend.
I would say it's about 50-50. The guys go out and cheat on their wives while they're gone, and the wives cheat on their husbands.
Yeah, what is the point of getting married if that's the game plan?
I don't think there is for most of these men.
I think a lot of these guys are just young and scared, which is understandable.
Yeah.
And they have the mistaken idea that getting married to somebody provides them with some form of security.
No, and
but how secure is that if you're in, like, Afghanistan and you don't know where your wife is or who she's with or where your kid is? What kind of security is that? These guys ever think what these women might be doing back home?
They are constantly thinking about it. And it tears
them. Then why do they get married? That's what doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. And, half these guys don't go over to the Middle East. I know a lot of them do, but a lot of them don't, and they go to other ports, and they want to go out and have fun, and, they shouldn't be married.
Well, I think you're right. And when you're wearing a uniform, especially in the last 4 years, there's no bigger aphrodisiac for most women than seeing a guy in uniform.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. So I'm married to a military man. I'm firsthand. I know that. So. But that's about all I wanted to say is get a DNA test, don't get married, and if he's really thinking about joining, then go out and have fun. If he's not, then he needs to go to school and do something good with his life.
Katie, thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Ken on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Dad, how you doing? I do care.
Doing okay, son.
Hey, Tom, I've just started listening not too long ago, about a few months, and I definitely have a bunch of questions for you. But the reason I'm calling this time is pretty much to give that guy some information. I live in Bremerton. I live in a Navy town, and the other guy that called up said something about wondering where his wife is. If he's going to marry her and get into the military, he doesn't have to wonder where his wife is going to be. She's going to be at my house. That's the way they all are. And I'm telling you, it's the facts.
How many military wives have you nailed?
I'd have to say at least 11 or 12.
Really?
At least. Look at this. The last one I slept with, her husband was in the Navy. She lived on base, and I would drive to the base gate. I don't have any passes. I don't have any IDs. I'd drive to the base gate, park my car. She would meet me there, pick me up. Next morning, she would drive me back to my car so I can go to work. It was like that until the day of the husband coming back. That night, I was at his house. The next morning, she dropped me off and then went home. And it's been like that. That's almost how they all are. And shoot, there's been times where I'd sleep with one of them. She'd drive me back up to the gate, and there'd be another one there waiting to pick me up. So they don't care. They don't care whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell that guy that if he's going to marry her and getting into the military, he's like you said, he's throwing it all away. He's throwing it all away. He just needs to. He does. And if he's going to sit there like you said about love, he didn't say anything about love. All he said is DTB. If that's the way how he feels, get out now. Get out now because he ain't got no future whatsoever. Don't even worry about a career because she's going to have half of that as well.
No doubt about it, Ken. Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Adam on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Are you there, Adam?
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Great. Hey, listen, Tom. Back in '96, I joined the military as a single man. Ended up getting married. Let me tell you, I was stationed overseas. You still there?
No, I left the room. What makes you think I left?
Oh, sorry about it. I'm on my stupid cell phone, sorry.
Well, so is everybody.
Stationed overseas, all the tail you can handle. I mean, even the ugly guys are getting laid. If this guy goes in, gets married, and thinks that it's going to be great, tell him from experience, no way. Here's the kicker. I was military police, so all I did was do bar fights and domestics. And them women, I'm telling you, Tom, scandalous, mean, horrible women.
So you'd nail them, but you would never marry.
Exactly. And, no, I ended up getting married. I went to Bosnia, came home, ended up getting married, thought I was in love, lasted 4 months. It was a joke.
And did she get money from you?
Oh, yeah, every month.
I mean, married 4 months and she gets money from you?
No, from the kid.
Oh.
Exactly. And so then you're sitting there looking at her big stomach thinking, if it was that easy for me, was it easy for everybody else?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, it's you can have the military or you can have a marriage. You can't have both. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, well, I think you're right about that, Adam. Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Rob on the Tom Leykis Show.
How you doing, Dad?
All right, son.
Good. Hey, I tell you what, this George guy's nuts. I'm a 13-year Navy vet, active duty. Listen to you every day, Dad, every day.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, there's no way he could ever take care of a wife and a newborn just coming into the military. Just ain't happening.
Yeah.
Just ain't happening. We don't get paid that much.
Yep.
You know, what this kid's thinking, I don't know. And I agree with your caller earlier. This guy needs to have himself a DNA test. You know, dump that bitch and move the heck on, man. I'm telling you.
You are right.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I'm talking to Tom Leykis.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. We're talking about an email from a listener named George who wrote in saying his girl is 22, he's 19, and they have a newborn daughter. He doesn't know whether to stay with her or DTB, and then he says, by the way, he's going into the Marines in October. Are you kidding me? What do? You're killing yourself slowly, pal. Just put the gun in your mouth and pull the trigger. You gotta be kidding. It's Richard on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey there, Tom. What's going on?
Not much, Richard.
Hey, I actually was on both sides of the fence. I used to be a UPS driver, and we would deliver all the Victoria's Secrets.
Yes.
And I guarantee you that 9 out of 10 of those people that we delivered them to, because we'd knock on the door, and they'd be naked. I mean, straight naked. And this is on a Navy base.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to jump us right there. Me, I couldn't do it. Can't do that to the fellow brothers in the military. Just can't do it. And then also being in the military, I can tell you that when we were over in Afghanistan, you got Dear John letters coming out your ears. Everybody, oh, my girl is leaving me. And I'm all, you know why? She's banging someone else. That's how it works. It's going to happen. And these guys, they think, oh, this is going to solve their problems. Believe me, it doesn't.
It's going to cause new problems. Because these girls are going to get money.
Yeah. Pay the child support. Get it over with.
And it's not like our boys in the military getting paid all that much. And here are these vultures coming in and taking their money.
Yeah. And that's exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking for a free ride. Well, some make a business out of this.
Yeah.
Make pretty good money, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can sell for the rest of their life if they want to. Get paid, and they're good. Paid and laid. That's what guys want, too.
No doubt about it. Jim on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay.
Hey, I just wanted to agree with that last guy. I think, everybody's been blaming the guys, but I think it's because the guys are mental midgets. They ain't, they ain't being strong enough to take care of themselves, and plan like you've been planning your entire life. Yeah. So, like the last guy said, hey, free ticket, why not take it and run with it?
Yeah.
I've seen it many a times with what I've been doing. And one thing I wanted to say is, why are these girls aiming so low? Why don't they go for some big money if they got?
Because have you seen some of the little hogs that hang around these military bases?
You know what? If I was a good-looking girl or halfway decent, I'd put my up and I'd go straight for someone that's got some big money, hang out with some.
Well, you know what? Water seeks its own level.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And if the object of your affection is a guy who makes $20,000 a year, there's probably not much there.
Yeah, that's probably true. You're probably right. I haven't been listening to your show too much, but I turned it on. I was stuck in traffic. I've been thoroughly impressed with what you got to say out there for guys.
Thank you.
It's been real good, so appreciate it.
Thank you very much for the call. Scott on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, how you doing, buddy?
I'm okay, Scott.
Hey, man, it's not about money with Marines, brother. It's all about the man. That last guy was wrong. But, hey, man, the reason I called is I've been a Marine for 10 years, man. And, I've been married 6 of those years, got married while I was in the Marines. I got 2 kids. Yeah. And, it's definitely possible to do it. And I want to tell that guy, if it is his kid and he wants to be a Marine and he wants to be a father, a parent, the whole deal, there really is no better place to do it, man. I mean, the only thing he has to do is be a parent and a husband, and everything else is provided. He's got housing, he's got pay, he's got benefits, he's got the job advancement, career advancement, everything. So it's definitely possible. And the second part of that is with the marriage thing and all the military members getting divorced and whatnot.
Right.
The problem I see with that, being like a leader of these young Marines, is that they come out here from wherever they enlist from. They get to, California, wherever they're going. They meet some chick at a bar. They fall in love. It's their first booty since, they've graduated high school. They fall in love and want to get married.
Right.
And these young girls, I mean, they don't know what it's like being married to a Marine.
Yeah.
They don't know about the deployments, always going to the field, going out to combat. And so, that plays havoc on a relationship. And then you got those scumbags like the guy that called a couple times ago, trying to hook up with all these Marines' wives while they're deployed. And, it's just that kind of stuff right there doesn't help in itself, so.
All good points, Scott. Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Steve on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Okay.
That last guy is out of his freaking gourd. The Marines is not the place to raise a freaking family, especially this little schmuck that's 19 years old. This guy needs to listen to your rules and realize he needs to go out there, run around, have a good freaking time, and then maybe when he's pushing 30 like that last scumbag was, then he can start worrying about having a wife and kids and the whole little 50s nuclear family.
That's right.
But until then, he just needs to go out there and get his stuff wet, have a good time.
That's right.
Because there's so many freaking whores outside of military bases. You just go around, you play around with them, and just wrap your stuff and hope nothing freaking happens.
Yeah. No doubt about it, Steve. You're absolutely right.
Sorry, some lady just tried to hit me.
Oh, that's not good.
That's about it, man. I was in the Marines for 5 years. I know this stuff, and I have seen so many guys get hooked up with chicks that are older and just looking for their meal ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And they freaking try and pin babies on them, and it ain't theirs. And then there's scumbags out there trying to sleep with your wife. It just ain't a good situation all around. This kid needs to go out, needs to grow up, have a good time.
You are right, Steve. Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM. Mauricio, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me. Listen, I want to tell you, first of all, where can I start with you? You are so right on in many things, and thank you for educating men on all these issues that I think American men don't know, and they have no idea what's going on, because this is a reflection of a new generation that is being taken over by women. Women, they have so much power in this country that it's so subtle that it reflects from the freaking janitor to the president.
Yeah.
And these guys have no idea. Forget about, all this topic that you're talking about, but I think, in a more profound way, men are being taken over by, women power in this country, more than any other country in the world. And it's a phenomenon, it's an issue that only happens here in America. You can go to South Africa, you can go to, Europe and all that. Men don't get treated that way here.
Yeah.
Like there, than here. And it's, it's amazing. It's amazing. I just want to say that you are so right on, and keep it going. Keep educating men about, especially me, because I was, when I came to this country, when I was 18 years old, I married to an American woman, very young. I was stupid, all that, marrying, all that. I said, let's go to college, let's educate ourselves and all that. 6 months later, boom, she gets pregnant. She told me that she was on a pill. And then she never, she lied to me.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, my life went downhill.
Yeah.
And you're right, because after that, you're dealing with all these issues that, that it doesn't help you to get ahead in life.
That's right. You had complete control of the situation until that point.
Until that point. And you're right about that. And it can happen to any man here and all that. But what I'm saying, more here than anywhere else, guys and young men, they have to know that women, they're getting so much power, and it's very subtle.
That's right.
And
Mauricio, as you know, in other countries, there are divorces, but try collecting alimony from a guy. Try collecting child support.
That's right.
It's pretty well known in most countries that have divorce. The judge may say, yeah, okay, you're going to pay alimony, but try collecting it.
Yeah, yes, and it's, and I can go on and on and on, and we probably, we can talk about 2-3 hours and say everything, but it's a very good job that you're doing with this program. And I have a girlfriend right now. By the way, I'm 35 years old. I've been going out with older women. I take their money, and I was still going out with them. But that's another issue. But what I'm trying to say to you is that you're doing a very good job to telling young men, 18, 15, 16, and it starts with that, 12, 13, where you can tell them to, go to college, get ahead, don't get your, girlfriend pregnant, whatever, all this stuff that, their parents that they're not even doing here.
You are absolutely right.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Mike. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Tom?
Not much, Mike.
Yeah, I made the mistake of getting married before I went into the military. And, I'd say a year and a half in the military, went to a field project, and got a call from my neighbor that my wife had some guy spend the night at my house.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And how did you find out about it?
Well, my neighbor actually was a good friend of mine, and he called me and said, hey, there's some guy spending the night at your house. And he described the truck to me, and I'm like, I know that guy. I know that truck. And it was a guy in my unit that I knew that had been over to my house before.
And so, what'd you do?
Well, I contacted my first sergeant from the field, who was back at my home station, and I let him know what was going on. And he sent some sergeants over there and to see what was going on, and they took some...
Because isn't that a violation?
Oh, yeah.
Of military code?
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
They had video of him coming in and out of the house, spending the night at the house. When I got back from the field, and I got off the plane, my first sergeant said, do not go home. I didn't go home. He said, we'll take care of him. He's now spending 5 years in Leavenworth.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Did you go home and get a look anyway?
Oh, no. I went home about 2 days later. I told her, I'm going to the field again in 3 weeks. Don't be here when I come back.
How'd she react to that?
Oh, she didn't understand how I found out, how I knew about it, or anything. I said, you know what? I know what you were doing. Just don't be here when I come back.
And did she try to convince you otherwise?
Oh, yeah. She wanted to stay so bad.
I'll bet. Oh, what a good deal. You pay for everything, you leave town, and she can bang other guys.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? I didn't have to pay her a dime.
Really?
Not a dime. Not a dime. I was stationed in Texas. I'm not real clear on what the laws are in Texas, but I didn't have to pay her a dime when we got divorced.
Well, it has more to do with federal law than anything else.
Oh, yeah?
But here's the deal. I don't know what the laws are, but I wonder if you didn't have to pay because it was a military guy who went to prison, so therefore maybe that played into it. I don't know.
Possibly. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear the whole story. I just started listening to you, and I've been waiting to hear you start talking about this so I can call in and tell my story. I tell every single guy that asks me, if you want to go to the military, good for you. It's a good decision. You'll have fun. Do not get married and go in. Do not.
No doubt.
Not at all.
I hope these guys are paying attention. I really do, because I do care about them. And I hate to see this happening. I hate hearing these stories. I hate getting these emails. I hate it. Anyway, thanks a lot for the call, Mike. Our email address is my name. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.